We've had a lot of questions about filming, GoPro cameras and video editing over the past year. There are guys putting out way better vids than us, but I reckon we've hit on a pretty good mix of techniques to make reasonably good quality vids on a budget without wasting valuable riding time. Let's start with filming technique. Lighting. Cameras hate dealing with contrast, so filming under trees with all those shadows isn't the best. The best lighting is an overcast day, or very early in the morning or late in the afternoon. The next best is direct sunlight and no shadows from overhead trees. However, if you have to film in patchy shade, good quality cameras like the GoPro Black are designed to cope with contrast quite well. Keeping it smooth. Bouncing, jarring footage ain't much fun after a few seconds. A helmet mount is the smoothest of all, as your legs and body act as extra suspension. When filming, I focus on keeping the helmet steady and really absorbing the impact with my legs. Strangely enough, often riding better as a result. Side and top helmet mounts tend to be dangerous. I opt for the much safer chin bar mount. Going for the widest camera angle lens possible smooths things out too. If you are hand holding the camera to film someone else, use triangles, the most stable shape. For example, holding the camera with two hands forms a kind of triangle with your body. Tuck your elbows in against your body, another kind of triangle. Hold your breath and move the camera smoothly as you follow the bike. Don't walk or move your feet, just twist your body to follow the action. Different angles. That wide camera angle certainly smooths things out, but you need to get in very close to catch the action. Mix the camera angles up for interest. 5 minutes of helmet camera footage tends to get boring. Jump off your bike a few times and do some hand filming. Cameras are well known for making steep bits look flat. Do some hand filming from the side to show the steepness. We covered a pile of different angles to use in this vid. Filming in short bits. One style of filming is to just leave the camera on, but editing 2 hours of footage gets bloody tedious. We tend to film in 5 to 10 second bursts of just the interesting stuff. Sure, you might miss someone's crash, but the editing is so much easier when you get home. The story. Unless you are a top rider, your footage is going to be pretty boring for others if you don't tell a story. An example, say one of you has a big crash, you might call the vid Ted's Big Stack. So the vid finishes with that and everything else just leads up to it. Narration. One thing I like about the Pro Shot chin bar mount is you can talk while you ride. Otherwise, you can just use your GoPro to record your voice, then drop that into your video editing later. Writing instead. Look, most of us don't like the sound of our own voice, so another option is to just type messages across the screen. Remember writing stories or assignments at school? Try the same thing for your story. An introduction, the main body, and a conclusion. The equipment. A decent camera helps. Sony and Contour put out quite good cameras, but the GoPro is generally considered the best of the lot and has plenty of attachments and accessories. They've also got their budget model now, which provides much better bang for your buck than the cheap Chinese options. I usually take along a bit of foam. It's just handy for holding across the microphone on the top of the camera in windy conditions to stop that sound. Settings, generally I just leave the camera on 1080p and 30 frames per second and only choose slow motion for something special, otherwise the video files just get too big. Other stuff? Some spare batteries, a pile of different mounts. I generally don't take a lot of camera gear along. Editing software. There are heaps of editing software packages out there, from free through to thousands of dollars. Look, it's not for beginners, but I use Sony Vegas because it's cheap and has almost everything the expensive professional programs do. Video editing. You can have some great footage, but really drop the ball if it's not edited well. Be vicious when editing. For some reason we think every bit of video is precious, but it's best to just slash away until you've got only the best bits, if you're presenting your vid publicly to others. How long should it be? The general recommendation from professional YouTubers, you'll get the most hits if your vid is only 2 minutes long. This internet generation has the attention span of a goldfish, so edit accordingly. However, if you've got a good story to tell or a dedicated audience, then somewhere around the 4-minute mark can suit. Personally, I break those limits all the time and I don't care. I'm a vicious brute who doesn't give a shit about all the goldfish. A good intro. Generally, if you haven't grabbed someone's attention in 5 seconds, they'll click off your vid. Personally, I reckon get straight into the riding footage. Who wants to watch logos or slow titles or guys putting on their riding gear in slow motion? Avoid long takes. Most TV shows and movies have 2 to 4 seconds before they change camera angle. If you've edited down to your best footage but still have some long takes, consider chopping them into pieces and just mix them all up. Slow motion. Look, it's easy to overdo the slow motion and just make your video longer and more boring. But try some little bits of slow-mo and even varying the speed. Speed the bike up, then a slow motion bit, then speed it up again. Music and audio. Oh, it's a tricky one. Some YouTubers hate any music in a bike vid. Personally, I've found most don't mind it if it's done carefully. Don't just slap your own favourite music in. Chances are 80% of viewers will think it sucks. Keep the music in the background. I believe it's really important to have the bike noise featured well. An advantage of good software like Sony Vegas is you can edit the audio tracks very effectively. Any copyrighted music will allow YouTube to slap their ads on your video. Do a search for Creative Commons music to find hundreds of free non-copyright songs you can use. Speaking of ads, if you use non-copyright music, then let YouTube put ads on your vids to make money. You're going to be lucky if they give you $1 to $2 per every 1,000 views. Look, unless your vids are wildly popular, I'd suggest don't bother, as lots of viewers click off the moment an ad starts. So this is just stuff we've learned to date and other guys have shared with us on forums. We're still learning and got a long way to go with our filming, let alone our riding. We'll keep this space here if you hotshot GoProers out there have got some further suggestions.